Hey guys, yeah, I've just jumped on my phone because what's going on here? My computer's playing up. Hi Darren. Yeah, my computer's doing all sorts of funny things, so I'm not sure. I'm just gonna stop the computer. I can. And hey Laura, long time no speak. Yeah, the computer just crashed on me as I started the video, so um, I'm on the phone now, and I just got back on the computer and it was doing some weird things, so I'm just going to close it down and turn it off, and we'll go live from the phone. I'm just going to get it set up. And can you hear me better now, Ellen, or anyone else? Hey Angela. Alright, that's better. So I'm just balancing my phone. Seth, hey mate. Angela, Noreen, Stavros. Oh, what's going on? I'm really having a hard time here with this technology. It just keeps on playing up. Anyway, I'll get started. So the video I'm doing today is basically my spiritual decree, and what that means is my belief in why I'm here, my purpose, in this lifetime, and also mentioned in earlier that I wanted to talk about why I emailed the group, the Masons, which I did a video about a month ago, and I've been asked why I would email them in the first place, and yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and share some of my story. So I'll talk about why I emailed them first, and then I'll go into a little bit about myself, which will be my spiritual decree, as it's called. Hey Angela, hey Seth. Yeah, so I mean, the reason I emailed them, and I'd been thinking about it for a little while. Well, I don't know a whole lot about them as a group, but in my mind, I envisioned like-minded people that are knowledgeable and awake, and spiritually in touch with themselves, and I thought if I was to contact them, maybe we could join information, resources, and spread what I'm about, which my path at the moment is about healing people and spreading love and information and knowledge for the benefit of all people, not just a few. And so I'd been toying with the idea of emailing them for a while, and I often, as I do, I ask for guidance from energy, and I did this, and the next evening something came on YouTube. I was watching something that finished, something else came on, and I just let it play through. And the night before, I'd asked for a sign, if I should email them or not, then give me a sign. And in this particular video, something said that there is certain people that are waiting for the return of the light bringer, also known as Lucifer. But Lucifer actually means light bringer. It's not a demonic term at all. It is a term of wisdom and of enlightenment for people. So I received this indirect message from the video that I was watching. I'm like, okay, well, that's a pretty fast response considering I asked only the night before. And then, so what I did is I pulled out a deck of tarot cards and I asked, okay, I need to know, should I email them or not? And I pulled out a card, and with it came another card, and I knew I had to pull that one as well. So I pulled out a 6 of cups, and then I pulled out a 7 of cups, which totaled 13. And one of their numbers, or from my understanding of what I've seen, one of the important numbers is 13 of this particular organisation for whatever reason. So I pulled out the number 13, and I'm like, okay, well, that has to be another sign, and that's 2 signs. And then I got on the website and I started to write them. And when I got on the website, I realised that I seen it was their 300th anniversary of the, what is it, of the coming together of 4 of the groups. So it was the 300th anniversary of the English Grand Lodge being founded, and I thought 300 was quite a significant number. 3s are all through my numbers, my numerology, my name, everything. For me, 3 is very significant. And so I looked up 300, and that's when it started to get a bit more interesting as well. So I looked up 300, and the first concern I had was if I was to align with any group in particular, and not just one in particular, but any group or any organisation, would I be allowed to operate on my own free will and share what it is that I'm here to share without being hindered and without being restricted. And what was it, the first? Oh, it's on my phone. Basically, the first paragraph I read was, it said that it's an autonomous microorganism acting individually and free to do so. So that answered that question straight away, and that was the first thing I read. And then there was a couple more that got a little bit more interesting. So there's 300 cubits in Noah's Ark, which that's pretty cool. 300 invincible soldiers in Gideon, and in symbolism, so the 300 is also the total number of popes and anti-popes that is to be before the second arrival of Christ. And this is who was that? I've written it down. According to, I can't remember, I had it on my phone, so I was going to go through my phone because I screenshotted it, but now I'm on the live, so I won't. But it's basically 300 popes and anti-popes before the second coming of Christ, and this is prophesized. And so I looked into how many popes we've had, where we're up to, and we're only up to 266, I believe, at this time in history. And so that didn't really make sense to me, because I felt that now is this time for this great awakening, this great shift in consciousness. And so I looked into how many presidents have we had, how many US presidents have we had, and so we're up to our 45th US president. It's a 45th term, but it's actually only the 44th US president, and what that gives us is a total of 300. It gives us 266 popes and 44 anti-popes. I'm not religious, and let me just say that I am not religious. I did go to a Catholic school, but I never paid attention. I don't have any set beliefs in any particular religion. This is just my path that's unfolding in front of me and what led me to email. And then 300 is also the symbolization for victory of the faithful soul on the forces of evil. So this is the time prophesies that the light takes over the dark, that good takes over evil. This is the time. Literally, we are in the time right now. I believe, I feel, and so all these things, you can look all these things up yourself. They're online. Just look up 300 symbolism, and that was enough for me to send the email. So in doing so, I manifested events that followed, directly or indirectly, and why I'm mentioning all this about the people. So certain people, not all people in organisations, but certain people maybe are privy to more information so I heard, are waiting for the return of the Lightbringer, and that brings me to my own personal spiritual decree and why I emailed them and why I felt like they were waiting for me, and yeah, this gets interesting for me. So my name, as I've mentioned a few times, means light and illumination. My date of birth is full of 9s and 3s, and it totals a life path 33-6. I'm 33 years old. My time of birth in universal time is 33-6 or 0336, and at local time, my time of birth is 1336. Now, this takes me back to also the Masonic numbers of 13 and 33. And if you take 13, you times that by 33.3, you get 432.9, which I'm going to go into in a minute. Again, I really speak about 432.9. And so my time of birth, 1336. If you take the 6 and you divide that by 2, its lowest common denominator, you get 13333. So my time of birth is literally the only time of birth that can hold that vibration of 1336 or 13333. And I believe that the time of birth, so we have a vibration in our numbers, in our numerology, which is our life path number. It gives us our vibration, and I think, well, for me anyway, I feel like the time of birth is actually the frequency of that vibration. So we all have a vibration, but we also have a frequency, and I believe that's why I'm so drawn to this number 432. Because I hold that number within my physical being, going from my time of birth. All my numbers, I basically have from 3 up until 33. I have multiples, or I have every multiple of 3 between 3 and 33. I also have 11, 22, and 13. My name, also the expression number of my name is an 11, which is also a very spiritual number. Back to the 432.9, sorry to skip around here, but I just want to talk about that number again, 432. So why I believe it's the number of balance, I believe it's the number of equilibrium, I believe it's the number of harmony, I believe, because we have, it's found all throughout nature. I'm just going to give a couple of examples here. Basically, our moon is 2160 miles, and our sun is 864,000 miles, and we basically have so 2160 is half, well, the numerical value 216 is half of 432, and 864 is double 432, and right in the middle we have 432. And at equinox, we have in one day, in one 24-hour period, we have 86,400 seconds. And at equinox we have 12 hours of day and 12 hours of light, which equals 43,200 seconds in the day and 43,200 seconds in the night. So that's equilibrium. That's nature. That's nature's finest balance. That is, you can't make that up. That is just what it is. It's 432. It is the balance. Sorry, Beverly, I'm interested about my date of birth. If you get a chance, it's all fives. And I'm going to talk about, how you can also research and find out about your own numbers and your own names and what you should be looking into to find out about your own life path. Another thing I just wanted to mention about myself and my own spiritual decree is my astrology chart is perfectly aligned. It's I haven't seen any other charts like it. I've done a few charts, and there's apps you can get on your phone to do your own chart and do the charts of others. But all my houses are situated in their natural positions, and my cardinals are straight up and straight down. And you can see it up there in the top. I've put a post up about that a few weeks ago. And I'm ruled by Jupiter, so I'm a Sagittarian. I'm ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, again, it's the largest planet in our solar system. It's got the largest gravitational pull. It pulls in asteroids, comets. It protects our planet Earth. It keeps space debris from coming to us. And I'm an O negative. My blood type is O negative, which is, first of all, RH negative. Means that you don't hold the rhesus monkey gene in your blood. You don't have that protein on your cells, and also O negative is quite special in the way that it's a universal donor. It means it can donate blood to any blood type in the world, and they can receive that with no problem. But it can only take from its own. And there's only about 15 to 20% of the population on the earth are negative blood types, and and depending on where you are, there's a higher concentrations in certain areas and lower concentrations in other certain areas, racial groups, and sorry, Phil, tell me about the Masons. I missed that part. I'm just going to keep going through this because I'm almost through it, and then we'll go through it and talk a bit more about it and ask any questions or answer any questions that you have. But another reason why, the reason I feel like I'm here now is basically to be a conduit between all energy sources. I've been in the army, as I've mentioned before. I've been in combat situations. I grew up in a very conventional household. Ate a lot of rubbish food, also some very good food from my mum, who's a beautiful cook. Thanks, Mum. But as I got through school, never paid attention, didn't really care about my health, so I grew up very conventionally. I partied a bit when I was younger, and I'm now in this stage of my life where I'm exploring the spiritual side and the loving side and the nurturing side, and I can comfortably say that I've seen both extremes of both polarities of life in the physical realm, at least, in this planetary realm. I've been part of both, and I feel like I know how to communicate and be part of all of it, and to be the conduit, so that we can move forward, so that we can communicate between light and dark, between groups. We can communicate and peacefully and lovingly and understanding with each other. I feel like that's why I'm here, to be that bridge and that balance and that healing. And I know I hold that vibration within me. I know that's part of who I am, and it's part of my DNA. And that's just, these are my numbers and my name. I can't make this stuff up. This is just how it is. This is how I came about. All my family members. My dad's a builder. My brother Joseph, my sister Marianne. I've got a cousin Matthew, Uncle Mark, Uncle John, Uncle Peter, Auntie Madeline, Rosemary. I've got Paul, Michael. I've got all all these beautiful people around me, and I'll talk a little bit about. Sorry, someone was saying there. I'm gonna have to go through all these comments again. Lucas, tell us more about the Masons. I missed that part. Angela's a 33 and a Sagittarius. Bless your sister. Darren's got the same blood. Taurus ruled by Venus. Another reason I feel compelled to make this video is, since I manifested this and I sent that email. Now, I don't know exactly who or what, but I have been approached by certain energies or entities that is not usual to my life, and sometimes in certain situations I feel like I've been almost like I'm being entrapped or being set up, or like things are being presented to me in order to get me to do things, or make me look bad in certain ways. Maybe by for example, at the party I was at overseas, when I was receiving a bag of weed, I felt like maybe this was being set up, and people were asking me to pass some plastic bags and things, like weird questions, and I sort of really felt like I was being entrapped there. In a similar situation when I got home, I was gifted, and I really have to actually express my gratitude also to the same energies and the same entities for the gifts that that they've given me in this physical sense, and I received this beautifully, perfectly structured woman in my life recently, and intuitively something was not so normal about it to me as the rest of my life has gone. It was completely different to that, but and a part of me felt like I also had to protect myself and guard myself and trust my intuition and hope, not hope, but just be true to myself and to her, and just to tread carefully in what I would do and what I would say, because I felt like, I felt a bit of entrapment coming on, like maybe something would be used against me in the future, in the media or something like this. And with the obviously understanding this may sound a little bit paranoid, but I'm prepared to sound a bit paranoid, because I think it's important for me just to speak my truth and speak what I feel, just in case, or in the event that something would happen or should happen in the future. It's been voiced, and this is just how I'm feeling about it. But nothing went wrong, nothing happened. Nothing bad. It was very positive. Really a beautiful experience for me. Quite a gift. So I'm grateful for that and thank you. And yeah. Feel it's really cool that you've been able to move through so many ways of life. Not many people can do that. Yeah, look, I think I've been very fortunate in the opportunities that I've had and the freedom that I have. I believe that anybody could do it or can do it if that's how they wanted to go through their life journey. And not everyone has to do it or wants to do it, or and some people are happy just living their lives the way they are, and that's perfect. We're all doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing at this point in time, and we're all right where we're supposed to be, I believe, and we all have the power to manifest and change that if we want to. We all have free will to learn and expand and grow and to empower ourselves if we want to, and that's part of our job, or my job, at least I feel, is to offer this information and offer this vibration to people that are open and willing to accept it. And only the people that are ready and willing to accept it will accept it and understand it. And I'm completely fine with that. I'm very confident in who I am, why I'm here, and where I come from. You should always speak what you feel, mate. That's the key to happiness. Yeah, feel again. Absolutely, bro. Man, truth is like this thing in our society that is so... It's almost a revolutionary act to speak the truth. Because we're so... If we allow ourselves to be, we are suppressed, and we suppress ourselves through fearing ourselves. We believe in this fear, and sometimes we believe it because maybe things happen which confirm or manifest this fear, but once you move through that fear, and once you are fully aware of who you are and where you come from, then that fear is no longer there, and you're able to speak your truth. And my truth is about reuniting people and connecting people, and I have no interest in causing friction. I have no interest in bringing about disharmony to anybody or any group or anyone. Like my dream and my vision is just to bring people together through understanding, through compassion, free will, and truth. Again, truth is a revolutionary act. Please speak truth. Just be true, and you can't go wrong, And throughout my journey, I've pissed off a lot of people. I've upset people. I've hurt people, just through being myself. But I have to be myself, because if I'm not being true to myself, then, I'm being true to somebody else, but that's not me. So really, if you're going to piss someone off, if you're going to upset someone, you're going to hurt someone's feelings, you have to honor yourself, and you have to honor your truth and what your body feels and what your heart feels and what your mind feels. And, some of us may be on our last life in this realm. Some of us may have a few more to come back to. But for me, I'm pretty confident this is my last time here, and I'm going to, make the most of it. I'm going to enjoy my life, which I really do love. And sorry, I've been talking a bit. Hey, Barbs. Darren, who is the woman? I'm not really going to say who the woman is. It's quite private. But it's been and gone, and it was a beautiful experience, and I'm grateful for it, and that's what it was. You should always trust the root of honesty, absolutely. Steve-O, what did I ask the Masons when you reached out to them? Well, I just said, basically just sent the email and said, I believe that somebody there, I may have some information about myself that someone there might be interested in, and I just gave them my phone number. Yeah, but I didn't receive any calls or anything. Just things happening in my life that wouldn't usually happen, but some amazing things and some beautiful things, and some things that left me a lot of room for growth and opportunity. Alan, much love, bro. Beautiful message. Thank you, bro. Hey, Cybran. Willis, long time, mate. Jackie, hi. Carl, hey, bro. Emerson. Joanne, Leah. I'm just going to go through these comments. Before I do go through the comments again, I'm going to talk about pissing people off and upsetting people, and speaking your truth and being your truth, because, at a time of global awakening and global enlightenment, which is where we're at now, we are moving from the dark period into the light period. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. Like people, the Earth, the planet, the solar system, we're going through this shift of vibration, and everything on the planet is going to be affected by that, whether you like it or not. It's happening, and that's why you're feeling it. That's why you're listening to this. That's why you're getting interested in things. That's why you're questioning things, because things are shifting, and it's not just you; it's people around you. And some people don't know how to control that, but people don't know what's going on. So, if you know something, like, share it with people. Don't be afraid of what people think, because if people laugh at you, or it's only because they don't understand what you're talking about, and it makes them comfortable to laugh, because it's an automatic reaction. That's just how they're taught. We laugh it off, and then we move on to another topic. But don't be afraid to be laughed at. And don't be afraid to insult somebody's, the way they are, the way they think, or don't be afraid to upset, or because this is such a big shift, such a paradigm shift globally. People are going to have to realise that they don't know everything. No one knows everything, and we're all going through this together. We're all learning together, and we're all moving through it together at the same time. So. Just be mindful and try and be gentle about it, but don't be so gentle that you're not getting your point across. Be firm in your belief and be strong and back yourself and believe yourself, and trust that if you're on the right path and you are speaking your truth, then you are supported by the universe, both on an energetic level and a physical level. Phil, what do I think the end game of my spiritual decree will be? Yeah, man, that's a great question. It's something that I really have trouble. Normally, I'm very intuitive, and I can see things in the future. I can see things happening. The end game of my spiritual degree in my perfect world is basically that I'm able to be that conduit and that beacon for anybody who needs assistance in the transition, consciously or unconsciously. But I want to be, I haven't spoken about this in this video, possibly even, within our lifetime we may see the integration of extraterrestrials into our population, and that's something that we need to think about. So possibly even being a conduit for that. But there is, we do need lots of we need healing, and we need coming together as a society, as an individual, as a planet. This is what we need, and there's no two ways about it. I respect both sides of the coin, and I respect people's free will to go through their life and their journey on their own terms and in their own time. So I simply see myself as an offering to the people that are willing and ready to receive and to open up to their greater self, and to understand themselves in a more cosmic and divine essence, and to stop giving their power away to external sources, and to reconnect with themselves on an elemental and a fundamental level to a degree where they know that they can basically help themselves through the harder times of life, and just empowering the individual, reminding people of what they are. That's it. It's just to remind people of what you are made of, and how strong you are, and how beautiful you are, and that there is love and there is light within inside you, and and when you're ready to let it out, then yeah, you come and see me, and come to a workshop or whatever it may be. But yeah, Darren, I keep getting visions of half the world on fire. What do you think that means? I guess what it means to you is probably more important. To me, I see, at this point in time, I see that we are, picture a swing or a seesaw, and we are just on the precipice. We're on the cusp of, so we're coming from the dark side, and what's happening is we're basically, it's been like this. It's been dark, 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 and we're just at the tilting point now, and it's just about, we're just at this point now. So the half of the world on fire could be, that half. It's up to them, I suppose. But yeah, Gilly, wise words, mate. Thanks, brother. Fred, Lucas, I love what you're putting down. I feel that the liberal pigs are really putting me in the ground. How do I reach your spiritual level? Yeah, Fred, look, man, the power is within you, and but you need to put the time in and the practice. So one thing I really highly recommend for anyone looking to get more spiritual and to grow within themselves is the breath work that I share, or it's Breath of Bliss. There's facilitators all through Australia, all around the world. There's other types of breath works, rebirthing breath works. These modalities, these breath works are extremely powerful tools for accessing your spiritual side, your consciousness, accessing external sources of information. Use them. They're right here. It's within you. You don't need to search external. It's within you. Meditation extremely important. You're really important to calm the mind for both reasons of transmitting information and receiving information. It works both ways all the time. Yoga. Again, when you're doing yoga, you're aligning your body. So what that means is that energy can flow through your meridians, through your energy centers, with less resistance, which is going to open you up spiritually. Hang on a minute. Okay, Phil, how will we go about liberating our consciousness from the government and all the other levels of social controls in the media? Personally, I don't watch the media. I do my own research, and whatever it is I'm in at the time, and I listen to I just listen. When I meditate, I get the guidance I need, or I just follow the path of least resistance, and it takes me to where I need to be. But yeah, I mean, media control. Media, you know, there's only a certain amount of channels that we have on TV. There's a certain amount of shows, there's a certain amount of news, a certain amount of radio stations, a certain amount of newspapers, and they're all pumping out the same information to you, whether it's true or not. You know, I don't know because I'm not reading it anymore or watching it, but you're receiving the same frequency. If you're watching the same TV shows, if you're listening to the same music, you've got the same voices, you've got the same shows, you've got the same, everything's the same, and what it is ultimately is just a frequency or a vibration and a frequency of the vibration that you're putting through your mind. So basically, if you want to unplug from that, then you just stop watching it, literally, and you go and you do things for yourself, for your body and for your mind. You eat nutritious food, live food, real food. It's called high vibrational food for a reason, because it's still vibrating, because it's alive. How would we go about living in a consciousness? Again, the breath work, meditation, yoga, all these natural practices, surfing. Just get into nature. That's all you've got to do, really, is you just have to get back to nature. Take your shoes off, go for a walk on the beach, go for a walk in the bush, sit on the ground, lay on the ground, take your shirt off and lay on the ground. I mean, not to a point where you're going to get sick if it's cold, but you know what I mean? Like, within, you know what I'm saying? Just get into nature and start to listen to yourself. Stop listening to everything else and just listen to what's in here, because that knows, Stavros, you would be an excellent representative for our community when we integrate with extraterrestrials. Yeah, I think so, I didn't talk about my tattoo, I got this tattoo before I went to my crop circles. I gifted myself this tattoo. I made a deal with the energies around me, and I said if you sell my house, which is my biggest biggest tie down at the time, if you sell my house, then I'll get this tattoo on me. And it was about a week later, I was at this thing, and I said, give me a definite sign that you're supporting me through this, because I want to know. And literally half an hour later, it was a Friday night, my mum calls me half an hour later, and she goes, I wasn't going to ring you till tomorrow, but we had a guy around at the house today, and he's going to buy the house. And and so I made that deal, and I got this tattoo, and I didn't know what it meant, but what it actually means is it's the tree of life. And I didn't realize what it was until I got into the tree of life crop circle formation, and my mate told me what it was, Maxim, and he's like, you know what that is, right? I'm like, no. And he goes, it's the tree of life. And then we figured out that the tree of life, so here, this is where the tree of life ends, and down here we've got a circle, a semicircle, and 3 circles. Then we've got these 4 straight lines. So I'm interpreting this semicircle and the 4 straight lines to be Earth, because we've got technology represented by the straight lines, and then we've got the semicircle, and then you've got the tree of life is seated within the Earth at this time. So the consciousness of the tree of life is seated in the Earth. It's not attached to the Earth. But that's where it's residing at this point in time in history, in space and time. So it's a really beautiful time to be here in this planet, and I feel blessed about that. So confident to say that I've been in contact with certain energies or entities that are also maybe not fully human throughout my travels, and it's really beautiful to have these experiences. Whether it was or not, whether it was just in my mind, I'm not sure, but I felt like it was something a little bit different. Yeah, so when the time comes, I'd love to be that representative. Maybe it's coming sooner, maybe it's coming later, I'm not sure. But I feel like, we're already integrated with them at this time, but they're all in the human form. Eventually, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be like that. Eventually they're going to be coming, and they're going to be a little bit different to us, and we're going to have to learn to accept that. I wish they wouldn't commodify our consciousness by banning psychedelics. Yeah, man. I'm really mindful about how I speak about these topics, but for me personally, certain plant medicines, that I've tried personally, have just been absolutely godsend, absolutely healing for me personally. I cannot recommend it because I'm not a medical professional, but for me personally, nothing has come besides breath work. Nothing has come close to certain plant medicines when it comes to healing the mind. They are just, and nothing's come close to being as scary as well, and as beautiful. So these are very powerful and should be used, very mindfully in the right setting if they're going to be used. But yeah, I feel that they're put here for a reason. They're put here for us, for these purposes to explore. We're only using whatever 10% of our brain, or most of us anyway, if that. And we've got the rest of it's 90%. I want to just talk a little bit more about energy, because some people get a bit confused when I speak about energy, and some people don't believe in spirit or energy and stuff. But all you need to think about is like you've got, think about a cable of wire. You have energy moving through that wire. There's no physical matter that you can see moving through the wire, but it doesn't mean that there's not information moving through the wire, and that's just going on around you all the time. So whether it's electrical signals coming from an aerial or coming from somewhere in the cosmos, there's energies around you. Darren, thanks, buddy. I'm glad that made sense. Phil, what benefits do psychedelic medicines have for liberating our consciousness? I really enjoy Aya and mushies. Yeah, look, again on that, I think, for me personally, it felt that experiencing those two things you mentioned, the Aya and the mushies, I feel like it really opens up different parts of the brain and allows it to function in a different way, and opens up new pathways. So I mean, it doesn't close anything off, it just opens things up, and it just allows you to think more and see more different spectrums, so to speak, different spectrums of energy. And these are experiences and things that are happening in and around you, and there's nothing that makes that more real or less real than any other experience you have, so what else have we got? Fred, thanks man, so enlightened, love it, you are directing my life. What do your tattoos mean to your followers? It's a good question. And incredible, go under the shorts please, if okay. I don't understand that, Fred, sorry bro. What do you mean, go under the shorts please, if okay? So that were just there's three circles below there. Ellen, amazing, thank you, bro. Steve, what did the entities say to you? One of them, like lots of things, we just hung out for. Well, he was staying in a hostel, you know, but certain just certain characteristics that maybe most people would have or lack, you know, it's just a little differences, you know. So yeah, also said some very interesting things about, but you know, some of these things are quite personal and not really for me to share in this forum. So yeah, I'm going to keep that to myself because that's a personal conversation. Stokesy and Cully. Yeah, so that's about it. Is there any other questions? Hey Serena, Gabriel. I had a weird experience, real weird, scary though. Yeah, if you want to share, Bev, please share. You know, this is the forum. Hey Marlon. And I do have to say that, wow, you know, I just feel so much better since returning to since returning to Australia, and I mentioned in my last video last weekend I actually had a plant medicine ceremony, and literally after the weekend, you know, there was drumming, there was breath work, there was some plant medicine. It was a very healing weekend, and it really shifted everything that had taken place energetically within my body throughout my travels. Anything that was picked up or held onto, any vibrations, you know, this it absolutely cleared and centered my mind and my heart and my body, and actually I feel a lot more clarity and centered than I did before, with a lot less fear, and yeah, I've really grown, and I'm really grateful for that experience. Phil, no, it was really good. Cheers, Bunge. I hope I covered everything. The 3, the 6, the 9, 33, 6, and 11, some of the numbers. So 3 is the Holy Trinity and the bringer of change, which I have a lot of 3s throughout my name and my birthday. 6 is the nurturing, balanced responsibility and service, which I also have. 9 is the wisdom, intuition, emotional, spiritual, mystical knowledge and kindness, which I also have in my number. 33, 6 is the master number, you know, very compassionate and concerned about the earth, which is me in a nutshell. The illuminated nurturer also. And 11, 11 life path, or in your numbers, is very intuitive, instinctive, charismatic, and dynamic, and very spiritual, and also maybe very emotional. Darren. Yeah, bro, send me a message, man, and I'll see what I can make of your visions. Yeah, if there's no other questions, awesome talking to you. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, and I'm going to post this again, so if you missed the start, you can watch the start. There's a lot of interesting information in there. Whether you're into this stuff or not, it's quite interesting, I think, anyway. So yeah, please watch and share. If you're interested in it, please share the video and get it out there, and yeah, hopefully we can start to expand and get this movement out there sooner rather than later, you know. because that's where we're at. So, hey, Annabelle. Yeah, so the number 11 is based on my first name. So with the numbers of my first name, it's Lucas, Lucas. The first three numbers are all threes, 333, and the last two numbers are 1 and 1. So I've got another three threes in my name, and a double one, which equals 11 altogether as well. So very significant numbers. I haven't done my surnames and my middle names yet. Middle name Charles, maybe after the Prince, I don't know. He likes talking to the plants and music of the plants, so we've got a good connection there. But yeah, obviously it will change the numbers, but I haven't done those other ones yet. So, Stavros, thanks for watching, bro. Really stoked, man, to see, guys that I used to work with interested in this sort of thing. It really, it really makes my heart sing just to see people interested in watching, and especially dudes that I used to work with, because it's such a closed environment, and yeah, I feel like I've been cut off a lot from guys that I used to work with. But in actual fact, like this whole journey started from that journey of being at work and then coming out of it and looking for ways to reconnect to myself and my family, and to also then pass that information on to all the guys that I worked with, or my brothers and my friends, and to help them reconnect, if they need it. Not everyone does need it, but some of us do, and that's what I'm here for, is just to share that, and yeah. Thanks, Stavros. You're a gem. I used to live with Steve-O, we had some really good times together down in Coogee, and yeah, wow, memories. All part of it. I've probably been talking for too long now. I'm going to go and have some dinner. So thank you all again for watching, and yeah, if you have any questions, then just try sitting by yourself and meditating for 5 minutes, and just try to ask that question up there and just see what answer you get, because 9 times out of 10 you'll get the correct answer from yourself. And yeah, thank you so much love and gratitude, and yeah, I'll see you all again in my next video. Ciao.